This year, the NFL is rolling the dice on Michael Penix Jr. and the Atlanta Falcons, and it's not just a small wager. With 6 primetime games on the schedule, the league is making a bold statement. They believe Penix is the future, and the Falcons are a team to watch closely. Think about it. Week 2 alone, the Falcons get to showcase Penix under the bright lights of Sunday Night Football against the Vikings. That's no accident. Then comes back-to-back primetime showdowns against powerhouse teams like the Bills and the 49ers. Later, a rare international game in Germany against the Colts puts the Falcons on a global stage. The season closes with high-profile Thursday and Monday night games versus the Buccaneers and Rams. Primetime games aren't handed out lightly. The NFL knows these spots are gold. They bring in millions of viewers and major TV contracts. They want compelling storylines, electric quarterbacks, and teams that can deliver drama. And by giving these slots to the Falcons, the league is saying loud and clear, Michael Penix is a player worth watching. Penix isn't just another young quarterback. He has weapons like wide receivers Drake London and Darnell Mooney, plus dynamic running back Bijan Robinson, giving him a potent offensive arsenal. Analysts on NFL Network have even tossed around the idea that Penix could emerge as an MVP candidate this year, sparking a resurgence for the Falcons, affectionately known as the Dirty Birds. But it's not just offense. The Falcons boast a solid defense and special teams unit, meaning they're competitive on all fronts. The league sees that too, and it's a major factor in why the Falcons get this primetime spotlight. Behind the scenes, Falcons quarterback coach T.J. Yates recently spoke about Penix's development. Yates highlighted the quarterback's talent and the impressive group of players around him. This isn't a typical rookie situation where the quarterback is left to figure things out on his own. Penix has support, skill, and a team that believes in his potential. What does this all mean for Falcons fans and NFL watchers? The league is betting big on Penix and the Falcons to deliver excitement, wins, and must-watch moments in prime time. This isn't just a schedule, it's a vote of confidence. And if you're not paying attention now, you might miss the start of something special. This is a fresh take you've never heard before. The NFL's gamble on Michael Penix could change the narrative for Atlanta football. And it's only just beginning. There's a buzz building around the Falcons' offense, and rightfully so. When you look at the talent assembled, it's hard not to get excited. T.J. Yates, Atlanta's quarterback coach, put it perfectly. This team is loaded with first-round talent. Michael Penix Jr., Bijan Robinson, Drake London, Kyle Pitts. These aren't just names on a roster. These are players expected to be game changers. And let's not forget the offensive line. Arguably one of the best in the league. Some experts place them in the top 10, and honestly, it feels closer to the top 5. Now I'm old enough to remember when Atlanta had a first-round pick starting at every offensive position, and frankly, it didn't lead to a ton of wins. Talent alone isn't a magic formula. But here, there's something different. That offensive line, those skill players, and the arrival of Penix, a quarterback with the potential to lead and elevate the entire offense, could transform this group into one of the NFL's best units this year. Why is that so important? Because if you believe in Penix as the guy, not just a placeholder but a true franchise quarterback, the sky's the limit. Sure, surrounding talent matters, but an elite quarterback can lift those around him. And when you combine a great quarterback with great weapons and a sturdy line, you have the perfect recipe for success. Last season, Penix had limited action. He played just a half of preseason and started only 3 regular season games. Not much to build a full evaluation on, right? But T.J. Yates had a compelling take that caught my attention. He said that even in those brief glimpses, Penix's ability to manipulate defenders with his eyes and his understanding of the entire field stood out. "We got a guy here," Yates said, and he sounded sincere, not just a coach hyping his player. If you've listened to many players or coaches talk about recognizing a franchise quarterback, they often say it takes just a few weeks, sometimes just training camp and preseason, to get that gut feeling. The team's inside perspective is usually sharper and more honest than the media's early evaluations, which can swing wildly. And when the media figures it out too early, they run out of things to debate about the QB's talent. I believe Yates. I believe Penix has the skill set to be great. We don't have a huge sample size yet, but the flashes we did see were impressive. Penix's second NFL pass was a deep bomb down the sideline against Denver, a throw perfectly on target. Against the Panthers in Week 18, he delivered an incredible sideline pass to Drake London that showed poise and accuracy. Looking at his limited starts from Week 16 to 18, Penix finished in the top 10 in total yards per attempt with an average depth of target of 10.1 yards, meaning he wasn't just throwing short, safe passes. He pushed the ball downfield consistently, ranking second in completed air yards. This isn't dink and dunk football. Penix's willingness to take shots vertically shows confidence and skill, and that bodes well for an offense hungry to score. The potential here is real. With the right coaching, improved experience, and the weapons around him, Penix could light up the NFL. The Falcons' offense isn't just talented on paper, it could be one of the league's most exciting units this year. What truly stood out in Michael Penix Jr.'s limited action last year was his aggressiveness. Not just throwing downfield, but actually connecting. It's easy for a quarterback to heave a deep shot into open space and say, "Well, I'm trying to make a big play." It's another thing entirely to hit on those attempts with precision and poise. That's where Penix separated himself, even in just a few games. He didn't just swing for the fences, he connected. In a small but meaningful sample size, he led the NFL in average depth of target and ranked third in yards per completion. That tells you he wasn't dinking and dunking. He was stretching defenses, forcing safeties deep and making them pay. The more you stack together what we saw from Penix and what Atlanta has built around him, the more this entire situation starts to make sense. He's got the arm talent. He's got the courage to push the ball downfield. He's got a strong offensive line. He has elite weapons in Bijan Robinson, Drake London, Kyle Pitts, and Darnell Mooney. And now he finally has something he didn't have last year: reps with the starters. Let's not forget, every throw Penix made last season came without first-team practice reps. He spent 14 weeks behind Kirk Cousins, running scout team offense, building timing with the second and third string receivers, not London, not Mooney. Guys like Casey Washington and Chris Blair. Then, out of nowhere, he was handed the keys and expected to drive. And he did. He developed on the fly, showed chemistry quickly with his starting receivers, and never once looked overwhelmed. Now, for the first time in his NFL career, Penix enters an offseason as the guy. Every rep in camp, every huddle, every throw, all with the first-team offense. And while we don't get to watch those practice reps ourselves, make no mistake that time matters. Chemistry in the NFL doesn't happen overnight. It's built in May and June, forged through training camp, tested in September, and trusted by December. The groundwork Penix is laying right now with this group could define the Falcons' entire season. So, what should we expect from Penix in 2025? Last year, he threw just 3 touchdowns in limited action. That's not the bar. That's the floor. With a full season ahead and the offense being built around him, something in the neighborhood of 22 touchdowns seems reasonable, maybe even conservative. Add in the production from Bijan Robinson and Tyler Allgeier on the ground, and you have the makings of a high-scoring offense that will demand national attention. This is why the NFL placed a bet on Atlanta. This is why the Falcons are featured in 6 standalone national games. They see what many are starting to believe, that Michael Penix Jr. has the tools, the toughness, and now the opportunity to become the face of a franchise on the rise. Before we wrap, I want to take a moment to express my genuine gratitude. Your support, your feedback, and yes, even your criticism, helped make this journey what it was. This job has been incredibly rewarding, not just because of the football, but because of the people on the other side of the screen. People like you. One of the most common questions I get is simple: what was your favorite team to cover? And while that might sound easy, it's not, because I've hosted 3 different NFL channels here. Each had its own quirks, rhythms, and communities. But to be honest, things didn't start smoothly with Falcons today. In fact, I'll say it plainly, it was rough. The early days were tough. The comment sections were brutal. And while I understood it was part of the territory, being told you suck regularly isn't something anyone gets used to quickly. Still, I never resented it. I knew it came from a place of passion, and I wanted to earn that trust. Over time, something changed. Maybe it was the reps, maybe it was the content, or maybe you just gave me a chance. Either way, the shift was real and meaningful. Somewhere along the way, the criticism faded and the support came in. That growth, not just yours in accepting me, but mine in finding my voice, is something I'll always carry with me.